being out there, yeah, I thought, like you said, Drake May, confidence, get it going early on. I was a little surprised. And conversely, right, to flip that over, when I was on the field pregame, because I do want to switch to Seattle's offense a little bit. I know I told you guys, because you guys worked a lot more in pregame than I did. I worked the field and was talking to a bunch of stars and having fun. But one thing I did notice, and I came back and told you guys, I went, man, there was a different energy on both sides of the field, right? Where Seattle was so hyped and excited, you were a little bit like, whoa, calm down. You might burn out before the fourth quarter comes around. And New England had a look of, I hope we can play our best today. Now, again, that's just looking into it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're confident, but it did jump off to me there. Let's switch and talk about Seattle's offense. Seattle's offense, we haven't seen anybody run the ball on New England like that all year. Kenneth Walker almost has 100 yards at half. I think that, to me, might be the shocker of the game right there. MVP Kenneth Walker. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, and Mike Vrabel said it at the half, though. He said, we got to set an edge and we got to tackle. In the first half, he had 94 yards, but I think three of them came when that was a good run, but the other two runs where they had no edge, no one was there.
And you don't expect that against the New England defense.
They have guys that a lot of times are on the team only because they know how to set an edge. They don't really do anything else well, but they set an edge. And credit to Seattle and to Kubiak of saying, hey, we're running the ball well. Me and Coach Dungy always talk about this. Just keep running the damn ball. And Seattle did that. They kept running the ball.
Well, early on, Jason and I were looking at each other going, man, are they going to drop back and throw the ball on first down every time?
Offensive guys.
A little bit. Well, but yet we're wanting to run it like you're saying, because we're a little bit going, wait, they're going to come out, drop back pass. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10, and now you're kind of behind the chains and doing all that. It did feel like it took Seattle a little while to get in a flow.
Yeah, I thought the most important thing for Seattle was to play the game on their own terms. And what I mean by that is just you have to be able to run it, make it all about Kenneth Walker first, and let Sam be a complementary player. If you go back to Sam last year when he was playing with Minnesota, and everyone highlights those last 2 games where he didn't play well and he can't play well in the big games. I hated the plan that they had in Minnesota. It felt like they were dropping back every snap.
Right, putting it on him.
Rushers all over the place. They're changing coverages up. He's not seeing it cleanly. When you run the ball, it quiets the game down for any quarterback, certainly for a guy like Sam Darnold. And I felt like early on in this game, New England was making it hard.
Yeah.
They're dropping back and throwing it. It felt a little uncomfortable.
It totally did.
You guys know that I was all in on Seattle. I'm like, come on now. I started to get a little anxious about it, but then he made a couple runs, and I think they changed their tune.
Do coordinators do that to try to get the quarterback in rhythm, opening up drop back pass? Like, is there a reason for that?
For me, I think it's the opposite. The last thing you want to do in a game like this, when everything's happened so fast, is to drop back and have to read something. What you want to do is have a little naked, the tight end's there, boom, throw it to him like you're 12 years old on the playground, just to get into the game. And then when they got Kenneth going, I felt like it settled a little bit. Sam did a better job checking the ball down, and they got their flow.
Yeah.
Well,
funny thing.
Go ahead, Coach.
One of my best friends, Leslie Frazier, he was on my staff. He's on the Seattle staff now. So I was out at training camp a couple times this summer. And Kenneth Walker, I mean, what you saw tonight, you saw it all year. Zach Charbonnet, I love him. When he got hurt, I called Leslie and I said, I said, I feel bad for Zach.
Right.
But this may be the best thing that
Blessing
happened to
in
you guys,
disguise.
because now you're going to give Kenneth Walker the ball 10 more times during the game. And this guy is going to break 2 or 3 long ones. He's that type of back.
Walker was special. He's been special. It's good to see everybody gets to see him on a national stage and realize that he's really one of the better running backs the game has to offer.
I remember you turned me on to him a few years ago. You said, watch the guy up in Seattle, and it takes watching him for one game, right? He's got something. He's strong. He's quick. You know those guys that have vision to find holes and then capture the edge? We saw all night long.
Well,
he's a heck of a back.
Who were you guys saying he was in the green room all night?
It looked like a faster Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, right?
Exactly right.
I mean, kind of just hop towards the line of scrimmage, wait till something opens up, and boom, and hit it, right?
Feel it, and burst through the hole. He was impressive.
Impressive. We also thought on the offensive side of the ball, Seattle, it was shaky in the passing game. New England seemed like they were taking some aggressive tactical chances where I know, JG, you and I were like, Seattle's going to throw a ball down the field to back them off a little bit.
And they tried. And
they
Gonzalez
tried.
made a good play.
Gonzalez made an incredible play in the first deep post of the game to Rashid Shaheed. But also another thing that I think, and here's Christian Gonzalez, another thing that was important in this football game that we saw from Seattle's offense, Sam Darnold's movement in the pocket. We thought Drake May's movement was going to be the difference in this football game, maybe out of the quarterback's running coach, but I know you were really impressed with the way Sam kind of hopped around and made some people miss.
I really was. I thought that would be the difference in the game. I thought we'd see that from Drake May, making a few of those plays. Darnold made him. He didn't have a great statistical game, but he made a couple of plays just in the clutch like that. He didn't turn the ball over, and that was the secret to winning.
And you guys know as coaches, what he did was he avoided the negative play.
Yes.
There was a few times New England, Jalen Hawkins early in the game, he's free. It's a blitz. They dial it up perfectly on third down. He comes full speed. Sam Darnold takes one-step move. Milton Williams missed him about three times tonight.
No doubt.
Like those plays, they don't start, like you said, they don't show up in the stat sheet, but that avoids a negative play. So instead of 2nd and 15, you get 2nd and 8. Now we have a chance on
totally
third down.
Different
I thought NBC's coverage, I think it's the best in the business. And you saw so many great shots of how close these guys were. They're swiping at the ball, and he gets it out of his hands, or he kind of moves and avoids. 4 or 5 times in the game, if it goes the other way, they knock the ball out. The game is completely different.
Totally. We got the sense a little bit like we talked about on New England's offense. It felt like the opposite on the defense, where they were going to go, we're going to do some stuff and be crazy, be totally conservative on offense.
But we'll let it rip.
But we got to let it rip on defense because we might have to score touchdowns or give our offense short fields. And that to me was what, again, looking at the big picture as we sit here and digest it, more and more I sit here, I go, man, New England came into this game knowing we're going to have to drive the ball well and make some long putts to win the football
And
game.
I do wonder was that Vrabel passing that message down as we're saying, hey, we want the offense to be more aggressive. Was he maybe telling Josh too, hey, I don't like that. We want to stay away from that because we were jumping out of our seats a couple times in the first quarter
Thought
thinking,
it might be a pick.
the DB broke it. And they didn't get there. And, that's the scary thing when you try to play that way.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think they sat in the office probably the Tuesday after the championship game, and they say, okay, how do we beat this team?
Right.
And they pull back and say, okay, they lead the league. Sam has thrown a lot of interceptions. We got to take the ball away. How are we going to take the ball away? Let's be aggressive on the back end. Let's make the secondary muddy for them. Let's go attack some of these plays. And on offense, they're really good. Let's not let them do that to us. So let's be a little conservative. I think that was kind of the complementary football plan.
Right.
New England, you know it better than anybody. There's a way to win this game, and I think that's what their approach was.
No question. Sam Darnold, what an unbelievable story. I think he learned a lot, to your point, and what we're all saying. He threw those 4 interceptions against the Rams in Week 12 or whatever, and it felt like from that point on he finally realized, wait, I don't need to be a superhero. I got a defense. I got plenty of playmakers. Let me sit back. And it was an unbelievable story. I couldn't be happier for him. I don't know how well you know Sam. You're original ghost out there.
And I
you were part of the ghost.
I told people all week, we won't see that guy again.
Right.
Like everyone tried to bring that up. Like that's not happening. He's over that. And I think that's what the NFL is about. That's what life is about. Guy gets another opportunity, fully takes advantage of it. And those guys in Seattle, they believe in Darnold, and you can tell how much confidence that gives them.
You can say, you got something to say, Coach?
No, I'm just saying, 9 for 22 in the first half. They're ahead 9-0. He's played an outstanding game because he did exactly what needed to be done to win the game.
I keep going back. I interviewed him twice this year, and I broke out the old draft report, and I keep going back to that line on the bottom, not affected by failure. And I thought about him early on in this game. It wasn't clean.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was a little bit ugly, but he kept coming. He had a great look in his eye the entire game. He kept coming. He made some better decisions as the thing went on. He made some plays with his feet.
Totally.
And certainly gave them a chance to win this game.
I believe the phrase you like to say is he's got moxie.
He's got moxie.
He's got moxie.
He's got moxie.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.